we're live. Okay, so, balls. We left off during the ending sequence of the Red Sage Heirloom, which was an experience in itself, because holy crap, the party managed to get the ball rolling and succeeded. Much to I'm sure their own shock.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
My plans. How did this happen?
They crumbled beneath us.
And so you are in the guild currently. You've spent some time doing all your morning things. And currently in the room is Alec, Alice, Aurolus, Letizia, Luna, and Penton. Xanis, Uzok, Norlan, and Kay are not in the room. So let me just shuffle these tokens.
Why
together.
not?
Oh, I should open Roll20.
I mean, that might help, but that's mainly just so you can see who is present and who is not.
Yes.
And you.
I've turned the heating all the way up, and it's still cold.
Well, yeah, it takes time.
No, but it's not even warming up. The
Yeah,
radiator is
it takes
warming up.
time. It has a set timer on it.
But I'm
Yeah.
cold now.
Well, then just bundle up into blankets, my dude. So, there are currently 6 of you in the room. As I've indicated on the map, so you can see, Kay, Nolan, Xanis, and Uzok are not in the room. So what are you doing?
What time is it?
You'd say it's about 10 a.m. It's a relatively early morning
10
time.
a.m. Have we had breakfast?
Yeah, you've gone through your morning routine of getting food, getting changed, getting like teeth brushed, getting all the good shit done and dusted.
Getting out of bed.
Yeah,
The hardest part.
the hardest part of it, just etching through the existence of first thing. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. I definitely didn't just accidentally close a sheet I didn't mean to. But yes, so currently in the room are the 4 of you, or 3 of you technically, as well as Alice, Aurolus, and Letizia. So you've gone through your
Well,
morning
I don't know
routine.
if anyone.
Go ahead, sorry.
I don't know if anyone has any plans, but maybe we can make snacks for our huge fights coming up.
Snacks.
Snacks. You know, to munch on.
During the fight?
No, obviously not during the fight. You. You can't be eating snacks during a battle.
Right. Aren't we going straight from the... Are we going straight from that fight to the last fight?
It's
Or
a
is there a
pretty
gap in time?
it's a pretty straightforward pipeline, yes, if you're asking me as a DM.
As in, is there a period along that time where you'd have time to eat snacks? Unless,
Maybe.
apart from travelling there, but I think we'll probably end up being teleported there anyway.
No, you're gonna have to be
It doesn't.
traveling
It
there on
doesn't
foot.
take. It doesn't take that much time to grab a cupcake and shove it in your mouth.
Sure,
Okay.
let's make travel snacks.
Yay!
So, brain cells. Luna, are you in harmony with this?
Yeah.
Okay. So the 6 of you go off to one of the little.
To the kitchen.
You go off to one of the little private kitchens that Aurolus
Ooh.
mentions having spotted the other day. Since the big old kitchen is what's being used for the whole guild, but there are a few like little private kitchen rooms for when certain like members of the guild may want to cook like something from home. So say for example, if Penton wanted to go off and make some like green carrot buns on his own, then there is a space to do that is not the main kitchen. You know, for the sake of convenience. So you end up heading to one of these rooms, and it's pristine clean. Everything inside has been pre-organized. You've got loads of ingredients in there, some of which you are completely unfamiliar with, but they don't really seem like something you're going to end up using for cupcakes or similar-esque snacks.
Okay. Does anyone have a preference for what kind of cupcakes we make?
Well, we can
Or
make the green
something
carrot
else.
buns. Penton knows how to make them.
Cool.
Snacks, those are more a meal thing, aren't they?
Yeah, they are technically more of a meal, but they are.
We could make mini ones.
You could make mini
Isn't
ones
that
out
just
of your.
carrot cupcake?
I
Kind of.
guess. I don't know.
Carrot cake cupcake.
Kind of, yeah. It's kind of like think have you ever had like bao or like the little
The
fluffy
buns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much those, but it's got a like vegetable filling to it. But yeah, you could probably make some mini ones of those, or if you're making the idea of cupcakes, making the carrot cake cupcakes, you could also do that. Depends on what your party's feeling. Or you guys as a party. Also, ignore me clearing my throat every now and again. My voice has just decided it's not having it today.
Let's do Penton's one because he knows how to make it, I guess.
Okay. So you have elected to make green carrot buns. And so, are you doing this as a kind of collective effort? I'm presuming so.
Yes,
Jason
team.
wants chef style.
Team buns.
Sorry, that sounds like a euphemism. Team buns. Oh. Okay, so cooking is a survival check. Because it comes under
fuck,
that
that's-
category. Yep. You are not ready for that.
This time, the green die will not that.
Okay, so okay, I just launch that dice across the table. It's fine.
Survival. Oh, I have quite good survival. 60.
Sorry, I'm not snorting at your 60. I'm snorting at what the Letizia just rolled.
3.
No. No.
What?
So Aurolus rolled a 40. Letizia rolled a 72.
Oh.
Nat 20. Like the one time where I needed it. And it decided not to show up. Luna, what's your survival check?
Oh,
Luna's is gonna be huge.
96.
Yeah.
And Penton?
Wait, never mind. I just realised I fucking have everything still active on my abilities.
That's fine. We'll leave it as is. So you remember to switch the abilities off, but
Yeah.
we'll leave the roll as it is. 37. Okay, so you guys get down to it. Start making these buns, making the fill-in. You know, all the good shit. And you end up coming out with a very large handful. Well, I say large handful. A very large quantity of these miniature gleam carrot buns. And the person who is left to steam them is Penton.
Steam them.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're the one that's sitting there by the little by the steamer basket, making sure that they're cooking properly, whilst everyone else is sitting back, having. Basically, you got to sit there and watch them put most of the hard work and effort into making the base, like the base components, so like the dough and the filling.
And judge them heavily.
Pretty much. You were pulling the equivalent of a Gordon Ramsay.
As they proceed to butcher my culture in front of my very eyes.
Yep. And so you're having to help them here and there. Aurolus actually does a pretty good job of it. Having been...
What were the checks, anyway?
The checks?
Uh-huh.
Well, Luna got 96. I think Alec was like 40-something? Is it 40?
60.
60. Okay. I wasn't too far off. I switched two numbers around in my brain. Letizia got like a 7, I think it was 72, and then Aurolus got 40. But Aurolus is familiar with your culture. Because he has been to Rabbit Hobble many a time, so he's the one helping Alec make the filling. I never rolled for Alice, but I can't be asked to open her
I'll
sheet
make some
right
extra ones for Leon.
Hmm?
I'll make some extra ones for Leon.
now. Aw. That's cute. Yeah. So
Maybe
you-
Reggie. Maybe
Hmm?
Maybe live down as well. Not sure that one counts as much though. I don't think you grew up in Rabbit Hobble.
Okay, so you spend a bit of time making these, and Penton is the one that is left to steam them all. Because I'm picturing in my head, it's kind of everybody kind of sits there and goes, okay, well then, Penton, if you're going to sit there and be so hostile while we're trying to make these, you can cook them, because that way we can't fuck it up.
I'm invigilating. I'm not being hostile.
No, but I'm picturing you going like Gordon Ramsay-esque level of
I'm
like
marching around with
passionate.
both hands linked behind my back.
Yeah, like I'm imagining Penton's very passionate about his culture's food. Because it checks out in my head. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, yeah, it's fine.
Very, very passionate about these steamed buns.
I mean, have you had a good bun? I'm not talking about a butt either.
We've recreated these ourselves.
I've been known to have a good bun every now and again.
I am a good bun. Well, debatable.
Hmm. 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 Your history would disagree with you, sir. Anyhow, you spend some time working on these, and they come out pretty decently. They're a little bit hit and miss to start off with, until Penton realizes that the actual steamer basket is slightly too low in temp, and so the first 3 or 4 that get cooked don't end up going quite right. They split.
Squidgy.
Yeah, they basically get very moist, and not in a good way. Squishy buns, and not the good kind of squishy bun. Sorry, I'm shaking something off me. No. I see that. I'm paying attention to the Discord this time. And so... Teehee giggles in wet buns. Anyway.
Phrasing.
Indeed. So, during that whole situation, you spend a little bit of time organizing and sorting everything out, and making sure that you've got a pretty firm grasp of what's going on. Like, hell yeah. This is going pretty well. And some time just passes like that. Of you guys sitting there chit-chatting whilst Penton is steaming these buns. So you come to the end of making these. They're all cooked and kind of put in like Tupperware to store for a long period, and so that you can take them with you. Unfortunately, the green carrot filling in these lasts for a long amount of time, thanks to some Lepinese. Oh my god, I can't even brain cell right now. Thanks to some Lepinese cooking techniques that are employed, they're very long lasting. And so you end up popping these in your bag. You keep hold of some extras for your allies that are currently MIA. So Kay, Nolan, Xanis, and Uzok. Penton, are you making extras for Are you making extras?
Yeah.
Okay. I will make a mental note of that.
Wait, what a question?
I mean, it was a question because I just questioned it.
It was.
Hmm.
Believe it or not.
I believe it.
Yeah, a thing called love.
That was terrible.
No, it's the darkness.
Cease. Anyway. So after that, you end up heading back to your room for a little bit. What are you planning on doing from here? I presume, Penton, you're probably going to be going to see the people that you've made some of these extra bonds for.
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to do that now?
Sure.
Okay. So, you excuse yourself from, I guess, the interaction that you're having with your group to go and distribute these buns.
Uh-huh.
And as you're doing so, you end up heading down the hallway to Group V's room. And you can hear what sounds like an eruption of chaos from inside the room, as there is a very, very loud debate currently happening.
What about?
It's a very loud debate between Throck
Okay.
and Raxus about which one of them can bench press more. Okay, which one of them is stronger? And you can hear the rather
Is he bench
displeased.
press at a bed? Is it still a bench press or is it a bed press?
Well, I don't know, mate. But watch this, and you can hear Mado. You can hear Mado going, "Wait, what? No, no, no!" Aww. And then you end up. The door ends up opening as Leon is just kind of starting to slip out of the room. And goes, "Oh, hello. I wasn't quite expecting you there." And you can see behind Leon, Mraxus currently squatting whilst holding Mado over his head like a dumbbell.
Oh, just Mado, not the bed.
Just Mado.
Well, I thought like Mado was on the bed and he has Mado over his shoulders on the
No,
bed.
he is basically just lifting Mado like a very large weight.
Well, Flock's not going to take that lying down. He's going to immediately grab Mraxus by the waist and attempt to lift him and Mado together and do squats while he's doing it.
Oh no. Sir, may I remind you of what is currently applied to the rock sheet?
Just the world explodes. Oh, is it still applied?
Yes.
Oh fuck.
Because-
What is base? Where is base ones? Without all of those things.
Just roll it with.
With?
Because they both have it. Because, for context,
Okay.
I have applied all of the end game buffs to the sheets that that I did not intend to be making checks or things like that for a little while. So some of these are sitting pretty at a casual 3 digits worth of stat per stat because of how many buffs there are.
Nice.
Uh,
I wish that was me.
See, I would have applied that to Marianne, but she's part of the Crystal Heroes, so
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I can't find his sheet.
That's because it's in current campaign things.
Ah,
It's at the bottom of the list. Ooh.
that's only 80. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Throck was a 93 to lift Meraxus and Mado.
What with an athletics check?
Athletics.
Is that what you're using?
It doesn't matter what check it is. They're all 80.
Okay, well. Yeah. So, Penton, you get the view of basically, like, Maraxus showing off his strength, and Throck just comes over and just picks up
And is going to
Maraxus.
flick an eyebrow in the direction of Leon because his seduction is also 80 right now. So he's going to give the fuck eyes to Leon while he's doing it
Leon's
because
not
he thinks he
looking
is
at him
incredibly sexy right now.
right. Leon is not looking at him right now because he's too busy trying to talk to Penton.
This could be you. Hmm.
So that makes Leon turn his head around. What the fuck? You know what?
Could be you.
No,
Could be you.
sir. We have
Fine.
guests. Guest singular. And he just opens
hi,
the door.
Pen.
So Penton's just standing there. Anyway.
Hello.
Ignore them.
How are you doing?
I'm just spectacular.
They are.
Huh?
Immediately shoves a bun in his mouth.
What? Okay. Oh.
We made them.
Oh.
Just now.
As he wipes the crumb, like, any sort of crumble away from his mouth. Oh. Actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Huh.
Remind you of home.
Yes. God, it's been a while.
Yes, maybe we'll visit back there again once this is all done.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Elle might actually be able to, you know, spend some time not having to fight for our lives. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's quite fun, but... I can't say with
Well, you might have to beat them off with sticks, though, to get them away from Throck.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I'll help you. I will pick up a stick, and I will beat them off with you. That sounds not right.
And Leon is just looking at you judgmentally of, do you hear yourself right now? I don't think that's going to be required, and plus I think I would have to be beating you with a stick to make sure that you weren't ogling him up either.
He looks at Throck. Throck looks at him. They both shrug their shoulders. And look back at Leon.
You've been immortalized in a quote.
I will beat them up with you.
Fuck it. Oh, I swear, some of the shit you come out with sometimes. Anyway. No, we were...
So what's she up to, besides...
Besides them being meatheads again, well... I was planning on going and having a chit-chat with Carmina.
Oh? What about?
Well... Let's just say that myself and Throck have recently received some, gifts.
Gifts?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of gifts?
Well, how does one put it? Throck, You wanna show Penton one of your new tricks?
One of the new tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can't decide. Which one should I use?
Any of them will do, dear. Any of them will do. Anyway, I suppose whilst he's trying to figure it out, I'll show off first. And so Leon proceeds to use Discord of the Almighty, which scares the shit out of you because it's like, hang on a minute, isn't that something that belongs to Carmina? Because it's one of her bloodline runes. And that's when the realization hits you. There are two more. There is now another sage. There is now another bardic sage.
Bitch, you're a sage?
Well, how do I put it? You
How
know,
the fuck did that
come in.
happen?
Come in.
Okay.
And you're basically pulled in by your shirt collar
Okay.
by Leon, the short stack who has to basically reach up. So myself and Throck were approached by Carmina and Rose.
Okay.
They took us off individually for a little chit chat, and well, as Carmina put it to me, there's only one bardic sage left at the moment,
Uh-huh.
and it's a lot of pressure for her, which means a lot of stress. And I know, and she tried to pull the stress will make her age badly kind of joke with me, but in all honesty, she just doesn't want to be the only one. It's a lot of responsibility that I don't think she's quite pleased about. I don't know what they said to Throck, but he came back and started firing off holy bolts of energy off into the middle of nowhere.
Oh, that one!
Rock that! And you watch as this bolt of basically this bolt of holy energy that takes the shape of a sword, basically rips through the wall. It
Luxy.
gets stuck.
Really.
You'll get there
Lux. Luxus. I can't say it.
It's okay. But no, simply put, we...
Luxian brilliance.
There you go.
Yeah.
So... it was a little bit of something to not only even the odds a bit, but should worse come to worse, there's a backup.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you're in the fight with us anyway, so it would certainly help if you were a sage as well. There's one more gained, more power on our side, and
Yes, well,
how do you feel about it?
I'm not really bothered.
No?
I'm
Big
happy.
responsibility.
Oh no.
I mean, it's
It's
more
not like I already
responsibility than
have
we
a
already
big...
have,
It's
but
not like I already have a big responsibility. And he waves his hand at Throck, who is once again having a very...
picking up pieces of the wall that he just
and trying to basically fix...
shattered.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to fix the wall with the help of Maraxus and Mado before
And-
the Guildmaster comes along.
And Throck notices that he's being looked at and then starts waving.
Anyway, yes. I already have a big responsibility being Monsieur over there. So, quite simply put. Yeah. I've got my hands full. But I have heard a little something up from through the grapevine about a few people that are planning on sticking around, which I thought was quite interesting.
Sticking around.
Yeah. Well, how do I put it? You can't tell anybody that I know this, but from what I've been told, Axton and Ollivander are staying. They've been doing all the paperwork this morning. They're supposed to be joining this group. And
I'm surprised that the Guildmaster let Axton stay after that performance.
I mean,
we chill now, but
I'm surprised that you were allowed to stay here, considering what you used to be like.
yeah, but
Turns
I'm
out the shell game
and
doesn't
people
work, does
love
it?
me.
Hmm?
I'm adorable and people can't stay mad at me.
And he gives you a slow blink. Don't think I haven't forgotten about the time you tried to con me out of my own bun using the shell game.
I thought you were about to say my own bathwater and I was going to get very confused.
I mean, that sounds like something you would do.
How do you know I haven't done it already? I have the ability to change your memories. I wouldn't do that. That's a dick move.
And also, you would have a lot of difficulty doing that.
Would I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty deep sleeper.
That's Thruk. I don't sleep that deep.
But you gotta. Because the man snores like a foghorn. Hi! No offense. We can sometimes hear him from across the hall.
Anyway. It also seems like, the man that you've been... One of the two men that you've been giving eyes is staying as well. Seems like Gruffnav and Libidine are joining up as well.
Oh, okay. I mean, not that I'm bothered about that, but...
And Leon just flicks one of your ears. Not like pain in a painful manner, just like a thumps it out the way. I saw your body language change there. Don't get too excited now. Speaking of, I don't suppose you know where your I don't suppose you know where the Faybun's gone off to, do you?
Not a clue. Why, did you need to...
Not necessarily. I was gonna ask him about something.
Okay, well, if I see him, I'll send him your way.
Okay. Hey, can I steal another one of those buns? They're quite
Yeah,
nice.
sure.
And he takes another one from the, Imagine you've got like a little tub for containing them for... Have you set them out in like separate containers for each, or...?
Yeah, I would have made a separate container to hand out the extra ones.
And Leon takes the container. And takes a few out, gives you the container back.
Okay.
Because he's transferring it into this little pouch that he keeps on him. That's got like almost like a thick film lining to it. Well, quite simply put, I now need to help these idiots fix the wall.
Yeah, I'll give you a hand with that.
That's fine, you've got to go around and hand things out, haven't you?
But yeah, they won't go off.
Well, no, but they won't be as warm anymore, and that's the best part.
Okay,
Is
fine.
when they're warm.
Make a little cake stand.
Sure.
Authentic rabbit hole buns. Wait, that's just me.
That's us. And he gives you a little high five.
Yeah.
Rats. And so you totter your way off. Meanwhile, back in the guild room, Kay has come back.
Okay.
Okay, we made buns. Have one.
Oh, thank you. And she takes one. She looks a little tuckered out. Like she's just read the longest and most boring book you've ever seen. As she flops down onto her bed. And just kind of lets out a little sigh of relief. That was long.
What was wrong?
Oh, right, yeah. I had to leave a little earlier this morning. Because after the whole fallout of, well, Mother's noble name falling into disaster, I've kind of stepped in to take over some of the old stuff and basically take over the seat on the council. So I get to refer to
Oh,
myself.
jeez.
I know, I get to be referred to as a countess now. And she looks really happy with herself. As she shows
Wow.
off
wow.
some of the paperwork she's signed. And Kay is now one of the I say leading nobles, one of the members of the Noble Council of Caleris. So she is Countess Lavanda, and she looks very happy with herself. Took a little bit of convincing, but Turns out having somebody that's willing to issue out some brute force in exchange for being pardoned of some crimes is quite useful. And she sits there with a little smile
Nice.
on her face.
Starting off your time as countess with a little bit of corruption. Love to see it.
Hey, well, all I'm saying is... She sits there and smiles. All I'm saying is... One of the council members didn't want me to take over because I was a woman. So what did I do? Simply put, a certain friend of Penton's needed subduing, and I dealt with her a little while ago, and she owes me a favour because I didn't put her in prison. So she's now in prison, and the guy who tried to stop me is now missing a statue in his front garden. His prized possession. Oh, and I got to meet one of the nobles on Girathina.
Oh.
Yeah, this is it's a really nice guy called Bartlesby. We had a great chat.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was I'm not so sure if I enjoy being a noble per se, but I do enjoy the benefits of it. So I
Can
suppose
I make a history check? Because who is? Do I know this guy?
Wait, your pen pal?
Yes, pen pal. That is who Kay's pen pal is.
Epic.
She has gotten to meet him in person, and they seem to be getting along.
Right. Yeah.
It's also because he's been referred to in one of the chats because he is part of one of the two campaigns that's currently running post this current one, which is
He's my
maybe why
boy.
you recognize the name.
Oh, Bartle's being on bitches. Oh, it's that one.
Bitches, not bitches.
Try whatever.
Anyway, so they're chit chatting. Like you guys end up talking, and she shares with you some of like the stuff that she was doing whilst there, like all of the boring formalities and trying not to. Oh my god, we sneezed. Ow. And her trying not to fall asleep during some of the proceedings where they're having to divide up all the estates and everything else, and like by the end of it, you're like surprised that she's still awake because she was sitting there having to deal with all of the boring paperwork parts of it. Meanwhile, Mr. Alano, you've gone off to go and find your next delivery.
Okay.
The next person you're dropping things off with.
Mm-hmm.
Who is next on that list of yours?
I think it's Reggie.
Okay. So you go to Group A's room. You knock on the door, and after a few moments, the door opens.
Hello.
And you have to look up. Because the person who opens the door kind of looms over you a little bit.
Hi. You know that sort of wave you do where you wiggle your fingers?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's doing that.
And the The man's antlers tap on the door for a minute as he's not opened it far enough for him to be able to look down at you properly. But you're met with the leather-bound Alonso Veladis. Oh, well, hello there.
Hi, is Reggie in?
Yeah, he's around here. Hey, Leggy, you've got a visitor. Oh, a visitor. Lovely. And he comes up to the door. Oh, hello.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
And what brings you here?
I made some snacks. I made some clean carrot buns, and I've been going around giving them to all the rabbit folk. It's a little taste of home.
Buns. And he immediately takes 2 of them from the container
Hope you like them.
and shoves them both in his mouth immediately. And you just see his cheeks just puff out because he's just shoved them both in there. He looks like a hamster.
Like reading his expression to see if it changes
And
or if he's enjoying it.
he is eating them, and he looks very happy. And it takes a second before wiping his mouth off. Oh, that was... we need to go and visit Rabbit Hovel at some point.
Yeah, get all the boys together.
Me, you, Leon, I can finally properly introduce you to Cecil, Harvel, and Ren.
I've heard about them, but I don't think I've ever interacted.
Whoever the tall guy... The Faybund?
Yeah, Nolan. His name's Nolan.
Nolan, right. Nolan. Well, we can bring him with us as well. I know that we've kind of had a thing there before.
Yeah.
I've only heard him referred to as one thing, so you'll have to excuse my lack of knowledge. But we should get, like, all 7 of us together, and we should invite Lupus as well, and then we can all go there together and find that... what was it called? The slurp hole. That's what it was called. It's this really nice, like...
Yeah.
It's this really nice noodle place.
The slurp hole. What a strange name. It's really good though.
But we can go there.
Because you slurp noodles whole.
Exactly. So we can go there. Like, I would say just like us rabbits, but it's kind of awkward to have like an odd number of people.
Yeah.
Because then they do like a two-person deal.
Yeah.
So like you get like a whole
I mean,
big fucking bowl to yourself.
I can fix that.
Yeah,
He
but they
claps
can't
twice
eat.
and makes a duplicate of himself.
Yeah, but they pick up on magic when magic kind of gets dispelled when you walk in there.
Really?
Yeah, they decided to do that,
Really
and I know that.
security.
Yeah, well, it's Rabbit Hovel. And the actual bar itself is on the outskirts of the slums.
Benton's thinking back. History check.
Mm-hmm. What's the bonus? Oh, check total, sorry.
56. 56.
56, okay.
Is this the bar that I got in trouble in?
No.
No, okay.
It is, however, the bar at the... it is the noodle shop at the other end of the street block from where you got... from that bar where you got kicked out of.
Ah. Well, yeah, the gang violence got pretty bad towards the later end of my time there, so
Yeah.
it makes sense that they've heightened up security a little bit.
Well, they've had it there for a while. They just didn't turn it on.
Yeah, okay.
Turns out one of the
Expenses.
they had one of the patrons come in with a brown dragon that had been polymorphed into a person.
Oh,
They kept trying to steal their noodles.
kinky.
No.
No?
No. Turns out it's just Turns out that brown dragon just really likes Lebanese noodles. And not like that. As hilarious as that would be, we don't need more Dragonborns running around the place. Anyway, thank you for dropping these off.
No worries, anytime.
So who are you going to visit next?
I mean, if you could tell me where Cecil and Harper's room is, I can make my introduction now. I've got a few left.
Oh, well, do you want to go and say hello to them? Oh, let me remind myself.
Because
Because
couldn't find Nolan. I'm saving at least one for the Guildmaster because I feel like he'll garrot me if I don't save one for him.
Aw, that's cute.
What can I say? He's a man of culture.
It's certainly a man of culture, right? Anyway. So if you're looking for Harvel, you want to go down a little further down the hall. And it'll be the next door. It'll be the door. What? You go three doors down. That's the one on the right. It'll be Group G's room. And then with Ren, you want to go all the way down, like right near the end. And you're looking for
We're
the.
not in the same group.
No, the other one. The other one's in Group R. But don't worry, I've put in a little request to put us bunnies together for when they're doing their little reshuffling of our groups.
We can only be Group R or Group B.
I like that thinking. Anyway, yes. So if you
Bunny
want,
boys.
if you want to go and say hello to them, then yes.
Sure,
Also,
why
I'm
not?
pretty sure I saw your Faybone friend heading.
Where? Where's he going?
Oh, I saw him heading off towards the Guildmaster's office last time I spoke to him. I bumped into him this morning. We had a little argument over who got the last sausage. Not like
And
that.
raises an eyebrow at him.
Reggie raises an eyebrow back at you. Wrong kind of sausage, sir.
Just when things are starting to get interesting. Okay. If I see him, I see him. If I don't, I don't. Wait, actually. How long range is the telepathy
Between you and who?
between Group U?
Relatively long range. Whilst you're in the guild hall, you can basically...
Nolan.
What?
Nolan.
What?
Hi, Faybon.
What do you want?
I got clean carrot buns. You want some? We made some while you were gone, and I've been handing them out to all the rabbits.
Oh, sure.
Just, I guess, when you're done with whatever you're done,
Well,
wait for me back at the room and I'll give you some. I'll make sure I save you some.
I mean, if you want to come down, himself, the guildmaster is here as well.
Sure, why not? It's a date. Bye!
Ugh.
Click. There's no click.
Right. So, are you going to see them first, or are you going?
I suppose so. I'll go see them first.
Okay. So you end up heading down to the guildmaster's office.
I'll say bye to Reggie.
Hmm?
Bye, Reggie.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Give a little hug.
Oh, that's nice of you. Anyway, off you go. And he gives you a little tap on the shoulder as you turn around and go.
We should hang out more after this. When this is all said and done.
Yeah.
Ta-ra.
Toodles. And so you make your way down to the guildmaster's office, where you find Lupus and Nolan looking at a map.
Hey, boys. I got buns. He's sort of like shaking them.
And you very quietly hear the guildmaster mutter to himself, and I cannot lie. Oh, yes. Hello, Penton.
Hello. What you
Hey.
doing? What's going on?
Oh, well, I've been looking at some activity recently from the Order of the Crystal. It's been getting a little problematic, and I found
Those are
that
the other holy
Mhm.
boys, right?
these are the Crystal Host worshippers that have been a thorn in my ass since the guild started. Been proactively trying to prevent our guild from growing in size in any capacity they can.
Okay. But currently the B team.
Basically.
Okay, yeah.
And also, I had a little chit chat with Lunarius the other night using some communing spells.
So I was just gossing with God last night, and
Oh
well,
my god, I'm going to throw my shoe at you with the claws out. Anyway,
continue.
I was trying to make sure that we've got everything sorted out because I had to go and meet with some of the members of the Pantheon to make sure that things were going to go fine. Like good old Minerva. But anyway,
Phenomena?
and you can quietly hear Nolan going, do 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 do,
Phenomena.
and he's just matching your energy. Lupus looks at you both. Really? Not right now. There's another Moon Wolverite that's popped up.
What?
I say popped up. Has been present for the last few years, and I have not noticed at all.
To be fair, you've been very busy.
To be fair, yes, I
I'm
have.
like saving the world.
But that's
shit.
now 2 Moon Wolverites that have appeared outside of this guild, which shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
You got Calatrix that we've encountered. And then I'm sure you'll find this funny, and he slides an image across the table.
Oh my god. It's like the spitting image of you, but a rabbit.
I know.
That's amazing.
Ah. So you're basically looking at what I can only describe as like a half breed, like a half and half of wolf and rabbit.
He's like holding the picture up against with like one eye closed.
Bearing in mind you're currently comparing what appears to be like a 10, 11-year-old against Lupus, but they like,
I'm seeing the resemblance.
hey, if you get him to do this, hey, change the little you, do the mini me, and Lupus just sighs, polymorphs.
But he doesn't have purple hair anymore.
He does.
Does he? Okay, we're not going that far back.
No, like he changes to roughly the same time era with the purple.
It's almost identical. That's uncanny.
They look like a color swap of each other.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I know. If
Wait,
I do
no?
this, and he snaps his fingers and polymorphs his ears to look like Leon's, and it is really like the splitting image.
It's
Yeah.
a good look on you. Sorry,
What, being short with rabbit ears?
I've got a bias,
And Lucas reverts back to himself, but no.
and I'm not the only one, eh? And he like nudges Nolan's arm.
And Nolan looks at you and just smirks. Hey.
Anyway, have you met this fellow?
Well, no. Because you
No?
see, there's kind of a problem.
What kind of problem? Well, apart from the elephant in the room.
He kind of puts down some information, like waves his hand over the table, and some of the glass paneling changes slightly, so you can see some information. That is the last activity from a fair few of the Order of the Crystal interactions. They appear to be interacting with some of the reformed bandit town of Jam Creek,
Oh, okay.
and I'm getting a bit worried about it.
They're hiring. Ah,
Especially since Thorn has said that his an old friend of his used to live there amongst the group. Apparently, he's lost contact with him fairly recently. So something's in the
Interesting.
works, and I don't like what it is.
so these quality boys are getting involved with bandits. I'm guessing. For trafficking. I can't see them getting into the drug trade or anything like that for
I
it.
have
so...
no idea, because I've not been able to look into it. And unfortunately, there's nothing we can do to intervene right now. So I'm trying to
we
figure
can't?
out what we can do. No, because we're too busy dealing with this.
Ah.
Literally cannot spare a singular person.
Well, we better get this squared away quick then.
Well, that's why I've contacted one of the
Save little you.
No. That's because we look similar. And there's some resemblance.
I could see it. The look in his eyes. That is your look.
What
That
look?
is your personality. Little shit. He has a little shit eyes.
And you get a ball of paper thrown that hits you directly in the forehead with enough force that you land on your ass.
Ow.
I am not a little shit, sir. That's Ziffy.
You're pretty bratty.
I will kick you. And he comes over and does just that.
Ow.
Anyway. You said you had buns.
Yes,
You
I do.
cooked. And he takes one, Nolan takes one, and they both seem to enjoy it.
Technically, the rest of the group of you made it and I supervised, but...
Well, I mean, one of the things I've always had trouble with is trying to make sure they cook right. It's like the most awkward part of it. It's a very fine line between where they hit the right level of steamed and when they get slightly too squishy.
Oh yeah. I was personally supervising that part, so don't you worry. It's not my best work, but they're pretty decent.
Yeah. But no,
What's his name? What's his name?
what this?
Yeah, the guy.
Lobos Solaris.
Lobos Solaris.
Which is a bit concerning, considering that that's that's the same name as one of the old Wolvenite Order. Basically, the thing that came before the elites.
Oh, okay. Go on.
Who happens to also be the who died at the hands of one of the other members of the Order that I ended up killing during my escape with Ziffy all those years ago. Which is a little bit awkward, because that means that somehow, at some point, he's had a kid.
It seems
That's
so.
then had another kid later down the line. There is just the Moon Wolvenite potentially walking around out there completely unsupervised.
How did you find out about them? Did they transform?
No. Not yet. I don't think anyway. Simply put, it's because one of our connections, a guy called Marwyn, has completely disappeared off the map.
Doesn't ring a bell.
It shouldn't.
Okay.
He's not a guild member.
Oh, okay.
It's part of our network of sellswords and mercenaries that work with us. Very similar to Helga, who has told me recently that has sent me some information recently that her foundlings are growing up quite quickly.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, didn't think she'd ever settle down, but hey.
Maybe learn guild members one day.
No.
No, you're downsizing, aren't you, when this is all done?
Yep.
Ah, okay.
And trust me, Zippy is
Who's
It
getting the
should.
vote?
I've got a fair few people,
Who's getting the vote?
and he shows
Shall
you...
not get the vote.
Yes.
Yes!
And Luke basically looks at you, looks at Nolan, well, you're both here, and shows you the full list of people that are getting booted.
No way! Oh, she wants to leave! Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I can kind of see that.
There are a fair few people that...
Oh, not him. I liked him.
Yeah, there are a fair few people that are staying and going. But some of them are setting up shop right here in Lenfar. Like Agnar.
Oh, okay.
He's basically going to start working with one of Sid's kids.
Put some money
here
back
in
into the
Lenfar.
town. That's good.
Yeah. I think Tharia is planning on setting up a little alchemy shop here. A whole bunch of interesting things.
Yeah, life moves on, I suppose.
And we're getting rid of Shalnar because I've had enough of watching what he's doing to Nell, and nope.
I've come up with like a design for like a huge catapult.
We have Ziffy.
What's the little cat guy's name? The little engineer guy. I forgot his name.
Oh, you mean Gevlin?
Yeah, I was going to ask him if he could make me a catapult for no particular reason.
I mean, you could go and ask him.
I want to put Shallow on a catapult.
I gathered. Ziffy wants to get some non-lethal rounds. Or
Well,
not a
I
non-lethal.
can launch him up, and then Ziffy can shout Paul, and then bang.
We're not clear pigeoning Shalnar. That's
Why not?
inhumane.
But it's hilarious.
I know.
He's inhumane.
Well, yeah, I mean, his sister is literally somebody who's going around eating orphans.
Yeah.
Yes, we're still having to track where Shally's going. Anyway. Oh, God. We've got some interesting things going down, we'll put it that way. Anyway. Me and Nolan were planning out what to, what to do after all this is, done and dusted. There's a few old friends of ours that we're going to be, of mine and Zippy's, that we're going to be calling up to get in touch with. Again. Like, nah. And it kind of...
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Still here. Hello.
Yep. Sorry, just an old friend of ours. Maybe I'll introduce you at some point.
It sounds like a dreamboat, considering the fact that you just disassociated in front of our very eyes.
Well, I mean, I do that a lot. That's
You're
not
right.
unusual for me. I wander off into my own brain. Anyway. Speaking of little shits, and he looks up at the light, at the like little overhead light in this room. The two of you can stop hiding up there, and from the light, from like the beams and lights above you, drops down Xanis and Uzok.
Aww.
Boo.
Like father, like son. Ah! Why that make me jump? I guess I'm just a bit on edge.
And you
You want a
realize why it makes you jump, because,
I have buns.
and once again, both like father, like son, they both sit there and go, and I cannot lie. And they both look at each other, cringe at each other a bit, and then start laughing. Before Xanis and Uzok leave the room. As
So it's
quickly
like-
as they arrive.
So is he teaching you something? Or...
Yeah. Yeah. They're teaching each other.
I didn't take my buns. Sad.
Lucas
Anyway,
looks
I
at you.
think-
Have you not made them some to stick in their own bags?
Were they there for that part, DM?
As far as I'm aware, you've made enough to spread around your group, and you're carrying all the extras.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say it might be a bit mean.
No.
Anyway, Nolan, if you can head back and get your group sorted out, you'll definitely be getting informed of what's happening. Hopefully, we can set up the sofa bed in the manor for you. Aye, sounds pretty good. Well,
Sleep over. What?
and Nolan just gives you a little pat on the head before leaving. Well, have fun. And so you are left alone in a room with the guildmaster. Is there anything you are doing? Or are you heading off to go and
Does he have anything else he wants to say to me?
You look at him, he looks at you.
He looks at me, and I look at him.
No. He looks at you. You look at him. Say, Thanks for the Thanks for the help.
For the what?
Thank you for the help.
Oh, well. Don't mention it.
Too late, I just did.
You're not wrong, but we're always going to help. You don't need to ask for it.
Well,
I thought this is with the Red Sage End, I'm assuming.
no, I'm talking overall.
Okay, now I don't follow.
Your path to redemption.
Oh,
Thank you for doing so well. Thank you for the help.
you're
Sticking around.
welcome?
The fact
Not
that
EXE has stopped working.
you've chosen to stick with the guild for so long is very much appreciated.
It's my home now.
And you get a little
People
smile.
that I like in the world are here.
You get a little smile in response to that. Well, regardless, it's still appreciated.
Anytime.
And so the two of you end up chit-chatting for a little bit. You end up chit-chatting for a bit about like what's in mind and plans for like proceedings after all is said and done and whatever. And you're offered to be allowed to stay at the manor with Nolan as well.
I knew it was a
It's not-
sleepover.
Well, no, it's not a sleepover per se. It's more of a
We're sleeping over at yours. Sleepover.
well, you don't have anywhere else to stay, do you?
Besides my guild room, no?
But the guild will be closed completely
Oh.
for a little while.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I did say we're spending a few years basically having the guild closed as a. Well, it'll be mostly closed. The only operating groups will be myself and Ziffy for a little while.
Oh, there's like so much cleaning and dusting to do.
Yep.
Sure you can handle that?
Mm-hmm. Be looking after the place. Gonna get.
Like, fighting eldritch abominations, that's fine, but dusting and cleaning?
And Lucas clicks his fingers. The walls light up with runes, and it's almost like the room vibrates a little bit.
Well, that's just cheating.
And all of the dust starts falling from wherever it's collated, and it all balls up into one pile in the middle of the room, and then slides itself out the door. I'm lazy. I set this up so I don't have to do it whenever the guild has to close for a while.
Where's it going?
Hmm?
And like Penton leans over towards the door to see if he can see where it's going.
And it's rolling out. It's formed into like a ball. It's rolling down the hall, and you can see what looks like you can see a little door at the end of the hallway. That's
There's a little dust calamari.
effectively, yeah. And it levitates upwards slightly. A chute on the wall opens, and it goes down there and disappears.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was it about?
Well, do you want to stay at the manor once all's said and done?
I would love to.
Okay. Anyway, let's have a look. I'm gonna come and have a quick chat with your group in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a fair few others left. You should probably go and introduce yourself to a couple of your group members or guild members.
That's the plan. Harvel, Ren, and...
Cecil.
That's the one.
Ah. Yeah, you want Group G's room and Group R's room.
Yep.
So that'll be.
Gotcha.
And it shows you on the map where they are.
But first, I need to see a cat about a castle.
True. Anyway, meanwhile, in the guild room, Nolan, Xanis, and Yuzok are back, and they are trying their buns. They look very happy with them. And Xanis looks at you guys. So, what we plan to do for the rest of the day? You know, we could make confetti bombs.
What?
Wait,
Why?
no, even better. We make glitter bombs, and we throw them at the enemy. The Lillian
We could
Beast.
make regular bombs.
But we could make glitter explosives. Throw them at the Lillian Beast. She will never get that glitter out of her fur. It'll be the ultimate revenge.
So true. The ultimate revenge before we die.
Nah, we won't die.
We will if we spend the entire fight throwing glitter bombs.
Well, that's why we wait until she's unable to strike back. And then we throw the glitter.
How about we wait till she's dead, and then we throw it, just to make sure.
Yeah, but that's...
Would discourage her from coming back from the dead because it would take too much effort to get the glitter out. Give up on life.
I mean, I think I would give up if I had an explosive made of glitter thrown at me.
I'm not here.
I wouldn't.
So Xanis looks over at Yuzok, and Yuzok pulls out this really large jar of glitter.
Will you just have that?
I mean, yeah, what do you think I was doing with the morning? Turns out,
Oh,
trying
I
to
was
buy...
like,
Go ahead.
just had it.
Yeah. I mean... When it comes to procuring a large quantity of glitter, people ask a lot of questions.
I am somehow not surprised.
I mean, I would be surprised if you weren't surprised. It's a very random thing for me to
pleased
walk
now.
in with a jar of glitter. You know? Because it's just a jar of glitter. It's very confusing. Very unusual. But very on brand for
Very
me.
glittery.
So, Xanis spends some time basically dragging you guys into his plot to create some glitter explosives to throw at the Lillian Beast.
Oh my god, this is actually happening. Okay.
You don't think you're ever going to end up using them, but
No.
it might be like a cheap little thing to throw out like right at the end. That's what Xanis keeps telling himself. But Kay's sitting there looking at the rest of you like he's in denial.
Make the dramatic moment a bit silly.
Say, whilst we're doing this, I should probably go ask Devlin in a bit about actually making these explode. Anyway, we'll sort that another time. In the meantime, whilst you guys are making some glitter explosives under the direction of your fearless leader Xanis, Penton,
Actually, that power hasn't got to his head.
are you going to see the little cat man about a catapult?
Yes.
So you go
It was a
along.
joke, I wasn't going to do this, but now I am committed.
You're committed to the bit.
Yeah.
Okay, where you go to Group F's room, you knock on the door, and there's Devlin.
Hello! I've heard you make stuff for the Guildmasters, and that you're a great engineer, and that you come up with amazing inventions.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I do.
Could you make me a catapult if I ask really, really nicely?
He looks at you with a very confused expression on his face.
Have you met Shelna?
Now, I in the Nine Hills. Do you want a catapult?
Have you met Shelna?
Yes, I've met Shalnar.
For him. To sit in, and then fuck off.
But you could just resolve that so much easier by just taking a gun to his head.
Yeah, but that's... Where's the showmanship?
Watch showmanship. Oh, right. Right, you're a rabbit. Never mind.
What's that supposed to mean?
And he looks at the gun strapped to his waist. Someday. Anyway, you wanted me to make a catapult, right?
Yes.
Okay, that should take about 3 weeks to do. That's after everything else.
How much would it cost me?
A lot.
It's fine. Money is no object.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
But
Do you want a
I'll
Do you want a bun? You make
Oh,
Lee
they
carrot
look-
buns.
they look absolutely lovely. Yeah, of
They
course I'll take
are.
one. Don't mind if I do. And
No
he
worries.
takes one.
Nice to
And,
meet you,
um,
I don't think we've ever spoken before.
No, we haven't. Name's Gavlin. And it
Depends-
makes you
depends on
chuckle. As you have to lower your hand down to this 3-foot tall man. He's a little orange cat man. And he is short.
And Penton notices the device on his neck.
Yes.
What is that how you talk?
And you do in fact notice that.
That's really cool.
There's like it's almost like a built-in collar that he's wearing that lights up every time he talks. Well, yeah, I'm a Moomba. That's kind of part of my genetics.
Oh, wow! Remember that can talk fluently. Without having to use telepathy.
Well,
You, sir, are a genius.
part Moomba, part
How long did it
Palico.
take you to make?
Few years.
Huh. We'll have to talk more about it at some point, but we got some more deliveries to make, so
Oh, of course. If you're looking for a Harville and Cecil, which I'm guessing.
how did you know that?
Well, who do you think made the telepathy system in here work so well? Look at the device.
Can hear my thoughts.
No.
Guys, our wire's tapped.
No, not so much. If you take a look at it. You take a look at the back of it, and it has GP etched into the back of it.
Huh.
And you realise that the little shit has managed to completely swap around telepathy stones as he's holding yours.
Quick hands.
Quick hands make an engineer work fast. Here you go. And tosses it back to you, takes his back.
Anyway, I said I was going, so I should go.
Of course. Catch
That's
up with
me.
Catch up with you sometime soon, Mr. Oleno.
Toodle.
And you head off. Are you going to meet this Harville and this this Cecil person, or
Yes.
are you gonna go and meet this Wren person first?
First two.
The first two. So you go across the hall, knock on the other door. Now, who in the hell would that be at this time? And opening the door is this incredibly large Bovian male who just kind of looms over you. There is a very large, deadly-looking Buster Sword strapped to his back,
Oh. Hi.
and it's like you've just opened the door to another door made out of person. Now, how can I help you, sir?
Nope, it's not a door. Hi. Harvin Cecilin, says a very red-faced Penton, who is trying his hardest to look at the man's eyes.
Not his chest.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the kitty because she's kind of pretty. No. Hey, Cecil, Arvel, you got a visitor. And he walks away from the door. And
With like a...
no, it's like you can hear the creaking of the floorboards underneath his feet. And you can't tell whether that's because of how heavily built and how much weight is behind him, or the sheer weight of the massive fucking weapon he's toting around with him. The sword. I saw you. The sword.
I didn't
Not-
even say anything.
No, but I saw the smile appear on your face and went, oh shit, very poor pronunciation. Very poor choice of words. And so walking up to the door is a 6-foot brown rabbit folk man and a 6-foot black rabbit folk man.
Hello, pleased to make your acquaintance. I am Pentanoleno, Group U. I don't think we've met, but I made these, and I thought you might like them.
They both look at you.
And he's showing the buns in his hand. He's not just saying, I made these, he's just staring at them.
Well, I do say that is quite kind of you. The green-haired... The brown rabbit folk male with his, brushes green hair out of the way. It's very sweet of you. Thank you. And he takes one, bites into it, and the other one that you presume is, you presume it's Harvel. Well, I don't suppose that I could help myself as well? To the buns, of course.
I wouldn't say no, but yes, you can have a bun.
Sir, contain yourself. I have standards. They're very low.
Ah. My feelings.
Anyway,
Yes, I'm offering him a bun.
and he takes the bun, and they're both enjoying them. Now,
Because apparently my buns are too low quality.
no. And he looks at you. I'm pulling your leg, by the way. You should come and hang out with us sometime.
I would love to.
Also, don't
What do
mind.
you guys have to do for fun?
Well, depends on what we're both in the mood for, to be fair.
Because Reggie was talking about once we get this whole online-based stuff done, that we should all go back to Rabbit Hole.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Leon, Reggie, you guys. I was going to call him the Fabun, but no one else might know it by that name, so we'll just call it Nolan. And just... yeah,
Ah,
get the squad together. Tear up the town.
I mean, that sounds pretty fun.
It does.
Yes, I must say, that does sound very interesting. Well, we've got some planning to sort out for our mission ahead. But we'll catch you on the flip side, yeah?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
A pleasure. Of course. Lovely to meet you.
And Penton will give a little bow.
And they bow back at you. And the door closes. And so with
That was group
group G.
G. Yes, I need to go to group R.
So you go over to group R's room. I'm picturing that your party members can hear you chit chatting with them down the hallway.
Yeah, I guess so, if they're listening.
If they're choosing to do that, just because I think it's funny.
Nosy little shits, but...
Just hearing Penton go, oh wow, hi, how are you? It's just inherently funny to me. And you knock on the door? Repeating the process, same
It's a
process as
fine
before.
stack of Bovian man. What
Hmm?
can I say? As I said, it was a fine stack of Bovian man. What can I say?
And opening the door is a white rabbit folk male.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Pentanoleno. Group U. And Sage, blah 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 blah. I made these. Would you like one?
Oh yeah, I'd love one. They smell real good.
They are real good.
And he takes one. He eats it. He looks real happy, and he almost a little tear comes to his eye. Just like Mama used to make. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No worries. What part of Rabbit Hole are you from?
Well,
I'm assuming.
yeah, I'm from Rabbit Hovel. I'm actually from, you might not know where it is, but it was a few years ago. There was a really bad bar fight or something that happened.
Uh-huh. I may have heard of that.
Well, I lived down the street from there. I used to work there at one point.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Making a history check to see if I know him. Or whether that part of my brain got destroyed when I got the shit kicked out of me.
Wow.
Along with all my childhood memories.
You just reopen your thing instead of opening the group that you've got set up.
Shut up. You
You
know
have
me.
You have a Chrome group set up with all of your D&D pages in it. Proceed to go and find the page and reopen it instead of just opening the group.
54.
54.
Yeah. No. 64.
64.
Not 54.
Right. Well, 64. Yes, you recognize Ren. Because you remember seeing him as one of the workers / entertainers of that establishment. One of the people who would be doing the evening performance acts. It's like where you'd have like.
Recognize you.
Hmm?
You look familiar.
Do I?
Well, I used to frequent that bar. If we're talking about the same bar, I think I might have seen you there a couple of times.
I'm gonna get him to roll a history check, see if he recognizes you. Also, nice voice crack for me. It's a 35. Yeah, he recognizes you. Oh, you're the little shit that got the bar closed down for a few weeks.
Damn, a few weeks? Why was that important?
Well, more the fact that, you know, there was a dead body in the bar.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy back then. I'm different now. Not the same guy.
That's fine. It's what inspired me to drop off from there and come work here.
So it's a good choice to make.
Reggie's already come around and visited to let me know about his plan for visiting Rabbit Hole again.
Yeah, he was saying we should all get together. So, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. Tear up the town.
Anyway, I must head back in. I think Vern's about to burst a blood vessel over something. You can hear this frustrated bleating from a male fawn from inside the room. Ah, come on, that's just bullshit. Oh my god. Right, I'll come catch you. I'll come chat to you sometime soon.
Alright. Nice to meet you.
All right, Vern, you can stop bleating now. And he shakes your hand. He has a very firm hand grip. He has a very firm grip in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he closes the door, leaving you to go back to your room. As all of the buns have been taken. Bar 2. One to save for you, and one for somebody else that you will be chit-chatting to later. Potentially. Because you are easy to read. Smiley face. Anyway, so Pension returns to the room, and you're all sitting there. He basically walks in on you guys making glitter-based explosives.
Hi.
And Xanis is sitting
This was
there.
Xanis's idea. We've just been dragged into this. Okay.
Are you pranking the guildmasters?
No.
No,
No.
we're pranking the Lillian Beast.
Yeah. We're gonna kick her in. We're gonna kick her ass, and then we're gonna throw glitter at her, and she'll never come back if we. So even if we cannot fail, because if the sealing her away part doesn't work, she'll never want to come back. It would have thrown more glitter at her.
She'll just give up on life. She can't get the glitter out.
We will bedazzle this eldritch abomination.
This is as good as plan as any.
She's gonna look
I
like a
could
fucking
borrow one of
disco ball.
those.
And your hand is immediately slapped away. No. Mine.
Okay, fine.
What were you even gonna do with those?
Can I pay Shalnar a visit?
Xanis looks around the group. Okay. All in favor of bedazzling Shalnar.
Oh my god.
Aye.
Yep.
And there's a general agreement of like hands and like
Like somewhere from far away, you hear, "No!"
and so yeah, and you can hear Shalnar's annoying as fuck voice echo through the hallway. And Xanis looks at you all. Okay, so we're all in agreement we're gonna throw a glitter bomb at him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got an idea.
What
And
what if I do it? Wait. What if I do it, but I'm invisible when I do it?
Xanis stops you right there and goes, I have an even better idea. You take one of these glitter bombs that we were all going to throw at him, you time stop, and you shove them in part of his clothing.
That does mean you have to stick your hand down Shalnar's shirt.
No,
Do you have the constitution for that? I sure shit don't.
because what you do is you just drop them, because he likes wearing those freaking like really unpleasant looking shirts where like it doesn't actually fit him properly. Basically, his the front of his shirt like hangs open like a fucking like an open. Like you know when you've got like boob windows for like female clothing, he's essentially got one of those for his shirt. So you just pop him in there like you.
Okay, I'll time stop, then put the glitter bomb in his tits, and then leave.
Exactly.
A titterbomb.
Tit bomb.
Oh my.
It'll be the least titillating experience he'll ever have.
High five.
And he high fives you.
These are gonna work, right?
Yeah, why wouldn't they? And he looks at you smiling as though this isn't the first time he's done this.
Okay,
Oh boy.
I take a glitter bomb, and I wait until he's nearby, and then open the door, time stop.
And so you hear his voice approaching. No! No! As he's like shouting. No, I need my back scrubbing. No! And you can see everybody else just looking at you like, do it, do it, do it, do it. And there's a little
Okay, I
quiet
do it.
chanting. So you're stopping time, going through the door, you throw
Oh,
the
I
glitter
should
bomb.
roll.
Yes, you should.
Just to see how much time I've got. That's a 4.
Hell yeah!
So I've got 5 rounds to
The
do
perfect
this.
crime. You have like a full minute of stopped
Why
time.
now do I roll a 4?
That's brilliant. And so you stop time.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. He's mid.
Midway through his neck,
He's
it's just
midway
like
through
it just
it
goes
now,
low,
so it's
and it's
just-
just like
You just, yeah, like
that.
yeah, we'll just do it like that because it's funnier. So like you can hear the sound reverberating through slow time. You go out the door. You toss in the glitter bomb. You get back in the room, and everybody's like slowed down until you get back. The spell ends, and you just hear this beep 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 beep. Yeah.
Why did it go yeah?
Yeah.
And Xanis just sits there and giggles because the voice sounds exactly like his. So it's just Xanis going yes, and then it explodes, and you just hear this, like somebody just slammed their head into a door. Like if you've ever had like a pet run into a door because they've not been paying attention, and you just hear that bump
course.
noise. of just
Not
them
pet me.
like them just impacting against the door. Yeah. Or if you've done that yourself,
Uh-huh.
because I've done that too many times.
Yeah.
Slightly floor with no carpet means wee donk.
Oh
And so you
no, I
just hear that.
No.
So you just hear that from outside, followed by no, why? And then here's like footsteps rapidly disappearing down the corridor, and you can hear Lupus from the other end of the corridor pissing himself with laughter. Like he is borderline howling. It is that fucking funny to him as you just hear.
I'm gonna cast a message and be like, that was me. That was us. That was we claim this.
And you get
we claim
We
this.
claim this attack.
and you
We
just
did
hear
this.
the response from you just get a message back from Lupus as well done. I approve. And as
Lupus approves, guys.
as you hear Shalnar disappearing down the corridor, you just hear, "No! Help! I've been bedazzled! No!" And Xanis is looking very proud of himself.
Well, they work.
Exactly. Because I followed the same recipe I did last time.
Last time.
We need a
Last
bigger blast
time-
radius for her because
And
we
you
saw her in our
realise-
dreams and she's fucking massive.
That's fine. We'll get a humanoid form. Because then the glitter will be stuck in her polymorph. She will have glitter stuck inside of her as she changes forms.
Ouch. That
Ooh.
sounds painful. I mean, that's good. That's good. We want it to be painful.
Exactly. The humiliation of eternally being glittered on the inside. And you realize the entire time, Xanis has not actually had any physical contact with any of the ingredients used to make this explosive. And that suddenly clicks in your heads. As Yuzok turns around and goes, "Why do I feel like we shouldn't have done this? Why have you not helped?" And Xanis just sits there and smiles. "Well, I was told I couldn't do it again, but I didn't do it."
Who told you?
I plead the fifth.
Because if it's your dad, we just got a well done.
Yeah,
Your other dad,
other dad.
don't give a shit.
Other dad.
Other one.
Because I used it on him and it was pink glitter.
Ah.
Pink glitter on white fur tends to stick out. He was not happy. Anyway.
Bad things are not funny when they happen to them.
So as you're preparing yourselves for a nice chill evening, you end up playing the equivalent of Monopoly together, the Lunannon equivalent of Monopoly as a group of 10.
Group
goes-
of 10 Monopoly.
Goes absolutely chaotic.
Do you have to get all of the guilds?
Can we roll to see who wins?
I have an
Sure,
advantage here.
why not?
Even the odds I win.
What should we roll? D20?
Yeah, we'll do a D20. No even the
Okay.
odds.
Ah.
No adding anything.
No
because
modifiers.
It's a long.
It's just a roll.
Oh,
Fine.
that's quite good.
I'm surprised it wasn't a one.
I know. Why do my dice? Why are my dice good when I'm putting glitter bombs down people's shirts and playing Monopoly, but not when I'm in battle?
The
Because
duality
you waste
of
all
the
of
dice.
your good rolls on glitter bombs and Monopoly.
I rolled an 18.
Okay. Penton.
I'm curious about what the actual spaces in the Monopoly board actually are.
Okay, well, can you tell me what you're rolling?
15.
15. Okay.
Is it like... Is there a go? Do you pass
No.
go?
Yes.
Right, okay.
It's
And
literally just
collect
Monopoly.
200
but-
gil.
Yeah.
I collect 200 gil.
But with the places aren't London, they're like
Except
know.
this is like because it's a 10, it's an up to 10 player game, because this is very clearly made for guilds. It's got all of the different cities across all of the continents.
Wowie.
Luna, what did you roll?
6.
Okay, so as you're going through, the first person to get out is Kay. Because she's half paying attention, half
You
not.
stepped on my Zodiac. Get sieged, bitch.
Oh, come on! It's like the 5th time this has happened now. What are these dice? And she's glaring at her dice. The next two to go out are Aurolus and Luna, as they end up basically in a stalemate where neither one can afford the other one's rent spaces.
Ah, fuck.
And it's just like, balls. The same thing ends up happening with Letizia and Alice, as they end up in another stalemate where they bankrupt themselves because they land on each other's spaces within the same turn. So one bankrupts the other, and then proceeds to immediately land on the other's territory, and it's like, shit. This is then followed by Norlan, who just keeps rolling the get sent to Zeliquin space.
Oh my god.
Every time he goes round, so he avoids all the bad things, but he eventually hits the point where he gets screwed because of the winner's strategy and planning. So the next person out is then Penton,
Mistos Utilities. Wait, no, shit. No!
as he ends up buying the Mistos Utilities space, and then proceeds to immediately land on Alex
Arcadia.
on Alex Fathengar space. Immediately afterwards.
No, that's bullshit. You can't have 4 hotels on this space.
I have as
I
many
call
hotels as I want. It fits.
Pendant's checking whether one of them's illusory. Fine. Good loser. Right.
And Alec gets taken out by Xanis
No.
as you land immediately on his Viamos space. Haha! And because I've put 6 hotels on this one space, same ruling, bitch! I can stack them on the same space.
It's a hotel on top of a hotel.
Upward property
It's a
management,
high-rise.
bitch. It's a high-rise hotel. And
I was so close.
of all people to win, Yuzok is the one that comes out on top.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did he win? What did he have?
He basically purchased every single one of the like really bad spaces, but you kept landing on them so frequently, he was just fine. So he bought up all of the bad ones, all the bad ones, and then you kept landing on them throughout the game. So he just stockpiled and went, "This is fine." So he's sitting there with a big beaming grin on his face of, "Yeah, I own Lunannon. Yeah, wait,
Let there be trees!
plant."
It's just a big fucking tree appears in the middle of the room.
Ah!
Destroys the board.
And manifesting
No more hotels.
in the center of this room is a lettuce with a knife.
What?
Ah, there you are. And he slams his fist down into the lettuce and it explodes.
I feel like there's history here.
And it disappears.
Roll history check.
What the fuck?
Do you
Sometimes
roll a
it
history
feels.
check?
Sometimes things happen and it feels like it's a dream. You know.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than the last dream we had where we met the Lillian Beast.
Mm.
This time, lettuce with a knife. We're on the way up.
Luckily, unless it's with a knife.
54. It's not my history, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I wouldn't know.
Well, you do know.
I do?
Mm. There is a tiny lettuce with a knife that you had to, that you recall tormenting Austramira
Wait, what?
that threatened you at one point to return. That it
Oh
would
yes, I remember
return
this.
the 5 p.m. lettuce.
Wait,
The
what?
5.
And you
It
see
was
it.
actually alive?
You see a tiny ghost float away from it that Nolan proceeds to dispel.
Wow. And hell,
Yep.
you shall not find salvation, lettuce.
And so you end up going again and playing another few games.
Oh.
And as you're doing this, a really silly idea comes to mind.
Oh no.
And Xanis is the one to bring it up. Hey, so hear me out.
That's
hate
pretty good.
I hate the fact that
pretty
you
good,
got
Alex.
there before I said it. I have this game. And he pulls out Cards Against Canaria. God damn you for getting there first.
What?
Yes.
Oh, I thought I was the original there, but I guess not.
So did I. I was like, I'm a genius. Ah, shit, he got there first. And so he pulls out Cards Against Canaria. And you guys start playing that. And there's some really dark humor being thrown about. And then you end up cycling through this a few times and just spending time together. And kind of not so much sharpening the bond between you all, but
This card, dead baby myth. That's all that means.
and Xanis is sitting there like, no.
Beans.
It's like the dead baby card, but it's dead baby myth.
Oh my god.
Seath head. Seath head? Do you know Seath head?
Head from a.
And as you're figuring it out, Xanis is.
Oh.
No,
No, no.
Sorry, go ahead, Luna.
I was going to read a black card.
Do it.
The Great War wouldn't be complete without blank and blank.
And Xanis's face immediately lights up. And as everybody's laying out their cards, he slams his down. And so he reads it out. He's like, okay. The Great War would not be complete without furries and gay sex.
And what?
And gay sex. And he looks so proud of himself, and Nolan's looking at him like,
What's a furry?
I think that's what humans refer to us as.
Oh yeah, we met those two guys.
I wonder how
They
they're
were
doing.
furries. I don't know. Where did they go? They're living in Lenfire now. Where did they go? I know we took them back.
And Xanis is pondering. And then pulls out a letter and reads it. Well, they sent us this as a thank you letter. They've started their journey around the world.
Aww.
They've actually been able to cure their own. They've been able to cure their inability to use magic.
Oh, cool.
Oh my god.
So they're not having to use Magitech. How cool is that?
That's so cool.
And so they're doing research together on that while they're traveling. Oh, that's adorable.
I hope the best for them.
I hope they don't find out what whatever this furry thing is. It'd be
I think
terrible.
it's too late for that.
They've discovered us. Mwah. And so you go for a few more rounds. And then... Oh, God. And then out of nowhere, you hear this thumping down the hallway. And then from the other end of the hallway.
What?
Well, like approaching each other.
Yeah.
A really slow jousting match?
I mean, you can look outside if you want.
Two very large people walking towards each other.
And then they fuse and it becomes a black hole and...
And so you pop your heads out, like, you kind of stick your heads out the door, like, the fuck is going on? And you see down the end of the hallway. Two people basically doing, like, a hacker at each other.
No.
So they're trying to, like, intimidate each other by doing strange dances. And one of them is Gevlin, who you were talking to earlier. The other one is a rather short-looking catfish man.
What?
And so you see one of them walking towards the other guy, like, meowing and doing, like, aggressive hissing, and the other one's just doing the equivalent of a goldfish blobbing underwater, just... Bop, 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 bop,
That one's
at each
asking
other.
for it.
And they start the fish man turns tail and starts sprinting down the other end of the hallway back into the guild. And you just hear Gevlin shout after him, "Yeah, that's what I thought. Take that." Fucking call my mother a wet goldfish. And disappears back into his room with no more comment. And so you go back to playing Cards Against Canaria.
We totally should. And we should make custom FFD20 white cards to go with the black cards.
That sounds amazing. Anyway.
Wouldn't take that much effort.
No, not really. Me sitting there with lore. And so you go along, and you spend the evening together, and it's actually really nice. There's nothing bad happens, nothing goes wrong. You guys actually relax.
No one's joke go a little too far.
A couple of jokes go a little overboard.
Like there's one about devils and demons that's a bit racy.
Yeah, there's like one that's like hemming the borderline between like funny and mildly offensive. There's a couple of jokes in there about dead parents that happen,
Everyone's just like,
but like
Another one bites the dust.
I'm imagining at a couple points like both Penton and Arolas look like they're sucking on a sour lemon because the joke's really funny, but if they start laughing at it, then it hurts their egos a little bit. It's like
I mean,
really.
I left the orphan club.
Alec will still laugh at the dead parents joke.
I escaped the orphan club.
You
I'm a
haven't
survivor.
you haven't technically escaped the orphans club, sir.
I've
You've
still
still
got the one
You don't
that
get to
matters.
escape.
You don't get to escape the club. The
I've
club
still
escapes you.
got the good one, so it's fine.
Yeah, you're a founding member. You don't get to escape.
Remember,
Founding
Well-
member of the orphans crew.
I
So
really appreciate everything you guys have done for this club. And I'm very glad that I did set it up, but I think it is time for me to move on.
I
And let
do
you guys
believe
take
You don't
over.
get
you were
to.
technically legally
Sorry,
abandoned.
there's no escape.
yeah, legally speaking, you don't exist
So then how can I be an orphan?
because you have no
See?
parents.
The madman searches for his parents, but he can't find them because they are still dead.
Oh dear. I'll send a link to what he's quoting later. Anyway, so it kind of goes from like being so it keeps going back and forth between mildly offensive, absolutely hilarious, and slightly suggestive as a whole bunch of extra white cards
extremely
and black cards are brought into the equation as Xanis brings out a few of the expansion decks that he's picked up
Penton is totally just inputting his own like cards as well with his illusory powers, without anyone seeing. Just occasionally flicks one in. That's a personalized one.
That's being seen because Kay's sitting next to you watching you do it, but she's not commenting.
I'm just spicing things up.
She's not saying anything. She finds it quite funny. Because you always seem to have a semi-decent punchline for some of these. But as you're going along, a couple of drinks get involved, as Yuzok and Nolan end up going into the guild and picking up a few bottles from what I'm going to refer to as the quote-unquote storage in the guild. You get a few bottles of alcohol to share around each other, and the whole evening just goes like that. And so we conclude the red book period as you basically spend the rest of the evening doing that together. And the next 3 weeks pass.
3 weeks
Yes.
of just playing Cards Against Canaria.
You play like spending time together like this in the evenings, spending time with your fellow guild members. So mainly your quote unquote main 40. So you're spending time with like Andromeda, Milo, Carl, the Solma twins, the Yuiki boys, Carmina, the Solma twins, Leon,
You said
Throck,
that twice.
Mado. I did. Whoops. Meraxus, Gareth, Edith, Kazaroth, on and off exposure to Mace, Sarak, Clementine, and the Crystal Heroes. And the next 3 weeks pass quite nicely. Nothing bad happens. Which is a surprise to you. Because you were really expecting something to happen.
Why are we expecting something to happen?
Because that's it's normally what happens when it gets a little too quiet.
Oh god, we're all trauma babies. We can't settle down and be comfortable in a peaceful world. Things have to be crazy.
So true.
And so we loop back round. It is the 5th of December, 56 AR. As you basically spend those 3 weeks making preparations for the final battle. As all things do. Diddly diddly do. Oh, it's gonna be interesting. A few changes are made here and there. And your groups are... Group U and the Crystal Heroes are gathered. But instead of Sarak joining the Crystal Heroes, it is Ankh who joins them. And you're gathered round. There's a very large table.
How large are we talking?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
To fit
6,
20
7,
people.
8, 9, 10. Yep.
So quite a few people.
At least 3 people.
At least 3 people. Oh, why is this not loading properly? Reload. There we go. As you're gathered together, And you're sitting around this table. And Lupus addresses you all. So, I hope you're ready. Because this is it. You notice strapped to his belt is both his regular rapier, Eclipsing Rhapsody. Lunarian Ragnarok is also attached here. And he is fully kitted out. So, I've managed to gather some alchemicals together. And I'll distribute those out later. Just before we leave. And I'll make sure to let you know what you have and haven't got hold of. And so as a DM to my players, I will be giving you a supply of Turbo Ethers, Mega Potions, and Mega Elixirs to work with. That I will distribute amongst you as players.
Yeah.
And that will top up your alchemical items. Since I presume you probably won't want to sit there and do shopping. I'll basically distribute out a number for each of you.
I can't think the alchemical items are going to do us, beyond like stuff that buffs us, I don't think the alchemical items are going to do much for us in the coming fight.
Yeah,
So,
pretty
it's
much.
not massively important. Unless, I'm going to say, unless we're getting armor upgrades, we already did that.
Yeah. So. Andromeda and Leon's parties will be staying here to ensure the guild is protected. As much as I do appreciate the fact that we do have all our guild members back, they are getting ready for the upcoming battle. Now, the Crystal Heroes will be getting dropped in via airship. You'll be getting dropped in on different points of the island, and then heading into the fray. The Lillian Beast has made an army of clones of her cultists that have stayed. Do not show them any mercy. We have already done what we can to ensure that those that have hearts that are not giving themselves up to nothingness are sorted. But simply put, there's only one thing we can do. And that is to free them. Now, how are we organising this? Who's going with who? So, Crystal Heroes, pair up.
Ah, fuck.
Group you will be kept as you are. But Crystal Heroes, please split yourselves up.
I only remember two
Diana.
pairings. It's Diana, Marianne, Lilac,
Diana.
Rose.
Okay, bear with. Oh, shit. Lilac, Rose. I'm gonna call dibs on Zippy.
I was assuming that was going to happen.
I mean, I could not, but Astra, who are you going in with?
I don't know.
You got your daughter, you got your Twinkie best friend,
Hey,
or Ankh, a 4,000-something-year-old lich who is definitely not looking apprehensive or mildly annoyed at the idea of having to socialize. He's a 4,000-year-old introvert. I'm sorry, Ankh, I did you dirty. But who would you like to go with, Astra? Unless Narek would like to hop in and pick
I
somebody.
feel like the extrovertist extrovert going with the introvert would be quite funny.
But if you want to go with
Do
Ankh,
it.
then
Do it. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, Norik and Ankh.
Means Astra and Karina. They can have mummy-daughter bonding time, murdering cultists.
That's also Ankh.
That is a sentence that just came out of my mouth.
Ankh is extremely
Yeah.
deadly, and the only thing that could make him more deadly is Norik. So
Another an egotistical twink and a 4,000-year-old murderous pariah. So that's how the Crystal Heroes have been separated out. And Lucas looks at Group U. You will be getting dropped off directly on top of the cultist base, pretty much. We have to go. The Crystal Heroes, we have to go in separately. In this manner, purely because, well, our magic signatures are recognizable by the Lillian Beast. Yours are not, because you've never fought her directly.
Ah. Okay.
And the only time you've encountered her was at the siege. Your magic auras have changed and developed and matured a lot since then. So, we'll effectively be catapulting you at their front door.
Nice.
So, any problems with how this is being organized?
Seems fine
No.
to me.
It's alright.
Alright then. Let's do this. And so, you are gathered together. Slowly but surely. And the airships, the two airships depart, flying directly for Zeliquin. And as your airships approach, Group U, your airship is being piloted by Norlan currently.
Nice.
The airship that carries the Crystal Heroes ends up starting to do a ring around the island, with its living contents being deposited across the island, different points.
It's
And as-
living content.
Positive.
Where are we dropping, boys?
Oh my god, you had to do that.
I was like, they're dropping out of the.
And so
The
you
Bombay doors open. They just start flying.
yes. So group U, you watch and look below, as it seems like the equivalent of an anthill, as these cultists are pouring out of this what seems like a crater in the ground. That you then realise is a very well built base that kind of blends into the ground that's surrounding it from above, meaning it would escape detection unless you were looking directly at every little bit of sand around you. And so, you watch these this swarm of cultists spread out across the island. You're completely dodging this. Completely. Because you are going straight for their headquarters. And your airship that you are using has been one that was commandeered from the cult a while ago. And the direction that you are coming in from, it makes it seem as though you are just stragglers. As though you are trying to escape the airship currently pursuing you, so that the cult will not attack you until you've landed and gotten inside the building. Which is great, because it works. The cult starts firing off these massive, like, harpoon-shaped bolts of magic from the building itself directly at the airship, flagging you. Which currently contains your guildmasters. The rest of the rest of the personnel on that ship have been distributed around the island, and you can vaguely make out shapes of where they've been dropped off, because some of them are wearing bright orange clothing, some of them are wearing bright blue and pink and red, some of them are wearing just straight up bright ass colors. Some of them are glowing, some of them aren't.
Glowing.
Looking at our are Atmar and the positively glowing deities that are pulling out their magic powers. And you manage to land without a hitch. It goes off spec-fucking-tacularly. The ship behind you is not so fortunate, as you watch it fly off and it explodes.
Oh,
Oh.
Into a very large cloud of ash. You did not see the people inside of the airship get out. There's a bit of an oh shit moment, until you spot the two figures sprinting across the ground. And you're like, okay, they're fine.
they lived somehow.
And you presume that they saw this coming. But you enter the cultist base. And you start snooping around. I presume you're being quite quiet as you're venturing around this area.
Ye.
Ye. Don't ye at me, sir.
Ye.
What does it look like?
It is what appears to be made of some sort of red and black obsidian glass on the inside. It's like black and red pillars, almost as though the stone itself is being corrupted with this darkness itself. But it's the material itself almost feels akin to smooth marble. And you're aware that as you're walking here, there is a presence watching you, hungering over you, thirsting for your approach. The actual walls themselves are gilded with what appears to be a combination of silver, gold, and other precious metals. And you end up wandering into what you believe is the main room of the cult, of where the cultists would gather to perform their rituals. But there are two pathways here, and that thirsting for your presence intensifies tenfold. It almost feels as though that whatever this presence is surrounding you is almost salivating at the fact you're here.
Nice to be wanted, though. Christ.
It is uncomfortable,
Hmm.
and you feel as though you're walking straight into a trap. What are you doing?
So we have two pathways ahead of us.
You have two pathways ahead of you, yes. You are in what appears to be
Um,
a very large chamber with a large number of occult symbols and etchings on the ground of various runic symbols. There is, if I were to describe the
Can
room
I
in a little
read?
more, you can try, but that requires you to take your attention off your surroundings and onto the runic letters on the ground below you.
I mean, I'm sure everyone else is looking at the surroundings, so I can do a little read.
Yeah, okay, so you start reading. Meanwhile, I'll describe to the rest of the party as you see what appears to be severed body parts, blood, viscera, hanging off of various parts of the walls and the ceiling, and it almost looks as though someone shoved a hand grenade inside of a person and watched the fireworks go off. There are bits and pieces of various persons across the room, scattered everywhere. like a sort of pinata gone wrong.
Oh.
Which just makes you feel even more nervous, and that thirsting, almost salivating presence that's inviting you further inwards just feels even more awkward and uncomfortable. And that feeling of, this is definitely a trap, isn't it? It's a trap, right? Continues. And Alec, as you're reading, the symbols on the floor below you roughly can translate them to summon All-Mother.
No, I don't think I will.
It appears that this ritual circle has already been used,
Oh,
as the magic within the letters themselves is not present.
I will communicate this to my gang,
Okay.
So Alec
my
communicates to you.
bros.
God. This is communicated to you all that something has been summoned here. But none of you are familiar with who would be referred to as the All-Mother. This is not a deity or entity you are familiar with. It's kind of weird.
A little bit, yeah.
It's like, well, who the fuck is this? But you have no idea.
Oh, I just assumed it was a Aurelian beast.
Do you want to share that observation?
Um, uh, could it be? That's what I'll say. Could it be her?
Probably.
Possibly?
And Nolan pipes up. Well, whatever the fuck it is, I certainly don't like the idea of it being anywhere near us. This isn't part of the plan. And that's just... no, I don't like that. Not at all.
It's fine. Just keep moving.
Is this something that the party are in harmony with?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so you
If there's
move...
nothing else that look.
So you move up to... Oh, why have you looped? So... There we go. And so you continue onwards. And that feeling of discomfort wraps its hands around you. It feels as though something is gripping at you. Something is almost teasing you from the shadows. As if this presence is laughing at you. Like you've made the worst mistake of your life coming here. And now you're starting to feel very, very conscious of your surroundings as you move forward.
Well, it would want us to think that way. Just trying to scare us.
And for some of your group, it seems to be working. Both Xanis and Kay are visibly trembling with anxiety. And so, you continue onwards. Until you walk into this room. It splits off. It appears to be a small connective room that leads off to two separate pathways. You can see light, what appears to be the outside, coming from one side. The other does not have that light, and is enshrined in darkness. Which direction are you going?
kind of light is it?
Sunlight.
Sunlight, okay. Probably the brighter lit way.
So you're heading back outside.
Oh. No?
I will give you guys a moment to think on this. As your decision here I'll tell you now, this decision that you make will change what you have to deal with. The end result is dependent on this choice. Discuss amongst yourselves. Which direction are you taking?
Oh
Can
dear.
I
Oh dear.
can I cast Omen of Peril in one direction and see what it gives me?
Sure. Are you doing it to the left, or to the left, where the room of darkness is, or to the right, with the room of light?
Let's do the darkness room, because that seems perilous. So
As you cast it, the spell malfunctions and breaks. But you manage to just about get out the details that it is perilous.
okay, now I'll try the other direction.
The spell doesn't work,
Oh,
as though something is
what
actively
does that mean?
nullifying it.
Perilous again, or just nothing?
So you deduce that it will probably be considered perilous as well. If the spell is essentially being stopped, despite your high strength and your high knowledge of the arcane, it is very clear that whatever is there is trying to screw with your spell. But you manage to... Yeah, nat 20 on that spell success. Yeah, you manage to figure out that it is perilous after focusing on the spell and concentrating with all of your effort. So both directions are considered perilous.
Okay, guys, both of them are very dangerous. So probably not a surprise, but
Hmm.
I think right.
Well, if they're both dangerous, then I don't suppose it really matters which one we pick. It does matter, as we were just told by the DM, but I don't see any
Okay.
way of differentiating the two beyond one being dark and one being light, so I guess we just pick one.
You're welcome to ask any other questions that you so feel the need to, or that may give you necessary information.
Can you hear anything coming from either of the directions?
I will ponder the answer to that question. Alec, you were about to say something, and you stopped.
Can I magically sense anything coming from the other directions?
You feel a sickening aura coming from the whole building around you.
Damn.
So you are unfortunately unable to discern any useful details other than, yep, this is not a good place to be.
Can I smell anything coming from either of the two directions?
Unfortunately, the only thing that you can smell is the sheer, I guess, the sheer amount of stagnant
Blood and guts.
and guts and all things unpleasant that are
Blood and
currently
guts and
need a
present.
doom
housekeeper.
and death. Oh, I think they keep it this way on purpose.
Do you want to roll an insight check for that?
Me? Little more. Okay. Insight. My insight is bad.
Never a good start.
That's a 30 total.
You realize that this is you kind of come to realize that this is not the way that this place would normally look.
They decorated for us.
It seems more a case of something happened here very recently.
And we haven't seen anyone around living.
No. The only people
Not.
you've seen so far are those that are heading out onto the battlefield to meet the Crystal Heroes head on.
Okay.
And even then, you're not
And
sure
they're
if
coming
they're
out of
people.
this building.
They have left this building, yes.
They have left the building. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, my vote's on right.
Hello there. I see you.
So we still have nothing, really.
You may investigate. I'll tell you now. I'm going to give you a solid, 25 minutes. Easy. I'm going to spare 10 minutes at the end of the session to describe what's happening with the Crystal Heroes and their whole drop-in sequence. But you have as much time as you need.
What questions can we ask?
Chew the scenery.
Chew the scenery. Chew
Any
the
writing?
scenery.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Okay.
Well done.
What language?
A variety of languages.
Anything runic, abyssal, or infernal?
Oh
Or
god,
common?
Yeah.
that'll make the pain stop.
Abyssal.
Abyssal. I know that one.
There is writing in Abyssal on the walls.
What does
Specifically,
it say?
one sector of the wall. And as you
Mhm.
go up to the wall, so
Check
if
the
I were
track.
to describe to you this connector room, you've got a pathway on the left to the room of
Mhm.
darkness. You have a pathway on the right to the room of light. And there is
Mhm.
abyssal writing on the wall directly in front of you to the north. And you go and have a look at
Okay.
it. You start reading it. And as you're reading through it, it appears to be the last thoughts of somebody who may have either died here or is in the process of dying, from what you understand.
Oh no.
And it mentions something about the North Star. The North Star will approach and become the morning star, upon which my grave shall be resting. And as you look up, there is what appears to be a constellation mechanism above you.
Oh.
The North Star will approach. Wait, Alec, read out loud.
The North. What was it? North Star will approach and become the morning star, and something about grave.
Yes. So the North Star will approach and become the morning star upon which my grave shall rise.
That sounds like it's going to crush us. What is the thing above you, Alec? So there's a constellation machine.
Yeah. What is it? Does it have bells and whistles?
Does it have the
Like,
North Star on it?
It does. It has what appears to be a star on the very northernmost point of it.
What's below us?
It appears to be a sort of glass floor that activates when an Astrologian steps upon it, aka when either Kay or Nolan stand upon it. It lights up and almost appears to be like a mirror into the astral plane. It's a similar sort of thing.
A mirror into the astral plane. Okay, so it won't crush them.
No.
Because my brain saw that and heard that and went, well, this is an elaborate riddly way of saying once you do this thing, the ceiling and the floor is going to come together and squish you.
Kay, can you? I don't know.
How big's this platform?
What do you think about this?
Kay ponders, well, I mean, we could see about turning the mechanism above us. Maybe that does something? Whoever it was,
Yeah.
they clearly don't seem to be that much of a threat.
Not right now.
I don't sense any magic, any type of unique magic coming off of this that isn't what would you would usually have for this kind of thing.
There's no stains above the civilized stuff.
No.
No.
Out of the whole building so far, this particular thing is pristine clean. The only thing you can see is what appears to be a blood smear next to the mechanism where somebody has clearly turned it away from where it should be.
Oh.
As though somebody has actively tried to hide how this thing works.
Okay, then I guess we activate it.
Is this a mutual shared feeling amongst everybody? Because I do not want to activate this or have this activate in any capacity if the party is not in agreement that this is what they want to do.
Seems like the way forward.
Luna? Doth thou have any objections to this being done?
Nope.
Okay. So you turn the mechanism, the North Star, points towards the wall, and starts to shine, becoming the Star of the Morning. As you realize that it completes an arch of sorts of sunrise to sunset. And the position upon which it starts glowing is sunrise, casting a small beam of light onto the wall. And a stone panel slides open, and you see what appears to be some sort of orcish male, huddled up in a ball, actively bleeding from his stomach, and he is muttering to himself in Abyssal what initially sounds like incoherent nothing, but he's muttering something to himself about somebody.
I will say in Abyssal, hello.
And the response you get in Abyssal is, "Oh, you come to finish me off, have you?"
Not if you don't attack us.
And he looks over at you, and you realize that there's something about this man that doesn't quite pin him as just an orc. As you see a large pair of horns sticking out of his head. But they're not devil horns, and they're not demon horns. They're bull horns. As he weakly drags himself across the floor and out of his hiding space. "Do I look like I'm in any state to fight? What do you want?" And as he's
Is he still
talking...
speaking in Abyssal?
Hmm?
Is he still speaking in Abyssal?
Yes.
Okay. What's he saying?
He's asking what we want. He says he's not going to attack us. So,
He's still bleeding profusely from his stomach wound.
Ask him if he speaks common.
my friend is asking if you speak common.
Of course I do. And he switches from speaking in Abyssal to Common. Of course I speak in Common.
Okay, that makes things easier.
Oh, what do you want? Like you see, I'm trying to escape the fate that many before me haven't been able to. And he waves his hand at the various torn, rended limbs that are spun about the place, like a perverse spiderweb.
How did you get here?
I put myself here. They summoned the All-Mother. Didn't tell us what it was going to do. We were promised salvation. Instead it was just a slaughter.
What is the All-Mother?
I couldn't tell you. Two big blades of metal swinging around like a fucking whirlwind.
Ah.
I barely got the chance to escape. And even then, I got an arrow through the gut.
Does he
And he
look...
shows you
Huh?
the arrow that he's ripped out of his stomach. Luna, roll a history check.
Is it black?
Oh. Yes, let me.
Why would he
Remember
rip it
rightly,
out
the
of his
arrows are
stomach?
jet
That's not what
black.
you're supposed to do.
Because
That's a 17?
You recognize this as one of Seren Pass's Eldritch arrows.
it's not just an arrow,
Oh.
Alec.
That's one of Seren passes.
And it starts to make sense
Oh.
to you why this place feels so deliriously inviting. Because you've just arrived shortly after a mass slaughter event. As you can see the markings of blades in the walls and some of the supporting pillars. The further in you go, the more signs of struggle there were. So, you come to finish me off, have you?
Oh, no. We're familiar with the owner of those arrows. And
So
we're
with
actually
them.
here to slaughter them
Oh.
once and for all. With the Sleeping Wolves Guild.
Right.
We're planning this assault for a very
Which
long
way
time.
did this all mother go?
I don't know.
Okay.
I sealed myself in here before they could kill me. He is still profusely bleeding from his stomach. Are you going to do anything about it?
And it's gonna look at Kay.
Because Kay is waiting on you guys to vocalize whether or not.
We'll help the man, surely.
Yeah, at least a little bit.
So she goes over, starts patching him up, using her healing magic. That's better. The name's, well, I suppose you probably don't need to know my name, but
We'd like to.
the name is Jerax.
Jerax. Okay.
And, I lost my people. I thought coming here would solve my problems. Can't die in an honourable battle. Then you may as well become the thing that might let you die an honourable warrior. Unfortunately, I seem to have picked the wrong path. It's a shame.
Why do you want to die in an honourable battle?
Well, it's part of my culture, innit? I'm an orc. And a Bovian.
Okay.
I've got a fire in my soul. And the rest of my tribe's gone. It's just me. No one else.
Well, we have a whole bunch of orcs at our guild. I'm sure you get along with well. And plenty of fighting to do. Got like a whole coliseum and that, and simulations to simulate any battle you want.
He looks at you all. This might sound a bit pathetic, but have you got supplies to, well, camp out?
To camp out?
And he shows you the crawl space that he's just come out of. And you realise that it leads into a small, isolated room where you can see what appears to be this man's campsite. He's basically holed himself up in here with as much supplies as he can gather, and he's very clearly burnt through them all. It suddenly makes sense why a lot of the viscera you've seen is so dark red, and why so much of the black pillaring and obsidian like walls are have this like diluted red of varying shades. This mass slaughter event has been happening for several days, so the darker red is where the blood is thickened, or just straight up dried in place on the walls. So he's been in there for at least a few days.
Do we have any supplies on us?
You do.
We have our chemicals, but do we have food?
You have your usual supplies with you. So in case you are unable to
Hendon's
be...
going to offer him some of his rations.
Is anybody else doing this?
Yeah, sure.
So the rations are offered to him. A water skin. Yuzok ends up handing over his spare water skin. And Jerax looks very happy. Thank you. I'm gonna hold back up in there. I'm gonna put a little false wall in the way. And hopefully, once you've taken them out, I might be able to escape.
Come back for you.
Thank you.
Unless we die, in which case
Alec.
you're on your own. Well, I'm just being honest.
Well, that goes without saying, doesn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
it's nice to be told there's a chance that you can fail. It means I won't be waiting around for an eternity. I'll wait here for a few more days, at most. If you don't come by then, I'll assume you're gone. The sleeping wolves, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Duly noted. Good. Thank you. And so, as you've been interacting here, you can hear what appears to be the voice of a man singing harmonically from the other room.
Oh god.
You're not sure which room it is.
Do we recognize the voice?
Yes.
Is it really grating?
Is it
Well,
Renrith?
she apparently has a quite a nice voice, so...
It is...
Is it
the voi-
Renrith or Serentas?
It is a very beautiful voice, almost enrapturing.
So
Like
not
like
Serentas.
like a siren who's singing upon her rock is curling her finger at you to come closer and take a little bit of indulging in the treats that she has to offer you. But you can't quite figure out who the voice belongs to, but you know it's a man.
We've heard him sing before.
In some manner, yes.
When we were holed up in, not the Abyss. It was,
On Zelequin, yes. However, that was his singing echoing from a distance. And when he was up close to you, his voice was distorted in some manner. Or perhaps this is distortion. You're not really sure. Because it sounds familiar, but it also sounds completely different to what you're familiar with.
Which direction is it coming from?
The Room of Darkness.
Ah. Okay. Does it sound like they know we're here?
No. This is the equivalent of what I would describe as somebody singing to themselves in the shower. Whomever this is, they clearly are not aware of there being any sort of unwanted presence. So you are still completely hidden.
Still think we go right.
To the room of light.
No, right. The other one.
Oh, you
Were we
mean the
told which one we're
darkness?
supposed to be tangling with?
Hmm?
Were we told which one we're supposed to be tangling with?
No. You were told to neutralize one of them.
One of them. Okay. Which one of them is easier?
You don't know.
I don't think either of them are easy.
Well, I know, but one of them will be more difficult than the other.
The only way to find that out is to fight
One of
both
them we
of them.
haven't actually met? No, we did meet once. I
We have
think.
met both of them.
I will have to enthuse that you settle on what you are intending to do.
You know what? I say dark.
Yep, that's 2. Anton,
I guess dark.
So,
let's go. Sneakily.
hold on.
Sneaking in the dark.
So you slowly
St.
start
Luna,
your way
don't
through.
post that gif, that's horrific.
So you start making your way through, being extremely careful, and making oh so sure that you are not spotted in any capacity. When the wall slides shut behind you.
Mm.
And the room is very dimly lit. There's a glow like moonlight filling the room. And this brilliant glow of moonlight accentuates this throne made of skulls, pelvises, rib cages, and various other bones.
Shall we?
And sitting upon it, well, not so much sitting upon it, more perched upon the back of the chair, as though clinging onto it like a spider would cling onto a wall, is the unhinged smile of Renbus Valoon. Who starts maniacally laughing. Meanwhile, outside, the Crystal Heroes have touched down. And are currently fighting their way through hordes of cultists to make their way into the base. With Marianne shield bashing her way through, beheading these cultists like it's just another Tuesday. Diana whacking enemies towards Marianne and then comboing together polar strikes of her bow staff with yeeting them back and forth with a shield like some sort of weird cultist ping pong game. Just battering everything in sight. Lilac and Rose putting some of the chronomancy skills together with some very high skilled sword fighting, cleaving through foes like it's nothing. Astra punching so many people, just sprinting her way through and uppercutting every single person she walks past. With Karina trying her best to keep up with her adoptive mother, spinning that scythe like it's a freaking Beyblade, just cleaving through enemies. And then the most comical pairing, Ankh and Norik. Where Norik is sitting there delivering this beautiful, absolutely tear-wrenching performance. And he's sitting there wiping away little tears off his face of, oh, I love my voice as people are dropping dead around him because he's using faux Discord and things along that line. And Ankh is just sitting there, hold it, like, kind of like watching before he actually gets involved and starts jumping between people, impaling them as he goes. And then Lupus and Zippy, doing what they do best, tearing shit up. Pretty much, yeah. And so your pairs are slowly and steadily making their way through this crowd. You are basically parting this sea of cultists, and they are swarming in. There's no way that these are real people. Is a thought that crosses your minds, kind of a collective thought that crosses your minds in different capacities. There is no way in hell that there are this many cultists here. You've been to the capital cities, you've seen how many people are there, and there is never this many people in one city. Until you realise that some of these are not bleeding when you kill them. They dissipate. There is some sort of dark magic at play here that is making fake copies of cultists.
Like a simulacrum?
Yes.
Ah!
Like an Eldritch simulacrum is being put at play here.
Ah, Seri, you old coot.
And so, slowly but surely, you manage to make your way to the main building. Some of you, absolutely covered in blood. Some of you, not so much.
Don't get
It
blood on my beautiful hair, or my beautiful cloak.
It seems like they ran out of simulacrum juice. And as you get there... Why does this refuse to work with me? There we go. As you get there, you manage to regroup with each other, and you're in this room that appears to be shedding a false light from above it, as though someone has attached a tiny sun to the roof. You can see what appears to be a small box-like room. Bearing in mind I'm talking from the perspective of the Crystal Heroes here. You see a small box-like room that appears to have some sort of star sign panel on the ground that Astra immediately recognizes as a little, essentially like a small rift that could be opened into the astral dream to look at the constellations that you see at night. Things along that line. And it appears that there is only one pathway. Which is weird. But it looks like there's a divot in one of the walls, as though they've had to replace part of the wall really quickly. But that's not what takes your attention. It's Serenpass sitting on a table, doing the draw me like one of your French girls poses, whilst singing a harmonious tune to himself. And trying to use what appears to be using some sort of charm spell. Until he notices your arrival. Oh. Well, that's disappointing. And he gets off the table.
Who's here,
Picks up
by
his
the way?
songbow. So currently in this room, you have Astra, Karina, Lupus, Zippy, Marianne, Diana, Lilac, Rose, Ankh, and Norik.
Oh, were you expecting the other ones, were you?
Hmm.
Oh, sorry to disappoint you. But we'll be your executioners for today.
Oh, you see, I already know that your other ones are here. For I left them with my son. It's funny how a little bit of ventriloquism can confuse the mind. And you realise you have no idea where the other group is. Group U should be here, because this was your rendezvous point. But they're not here. There's no sign of them.
What have you done, you wrinkly old sultana?
Oh. The better question is, what haven't I done? Oh. You will suffer.
Mm-hmm.
He knocks an arrow to his songbow. Now, you pompous old fucking melt of a fox. I shall show you suffering greater than that you could ever imagine. Our queen has given us power beyond that what you could even imagine.
Oh god, you take so long to get a fucking sentence out. Just hurry up.
And so, combat begins. And that is where I'm going to end the session. As Group U is trapped in the room with Renvus, and the Crystal Heroes take on Saren Pass. And this shall be the last session we do for this year, but we'll be kickstarting back up in January. So until then, bye-bye.
Bye!